Welcome to the first ever You Got a Roster podcast. My name is Sean O'Connor. I'm the head baseball coach at CCBC Essex in Baltimore County. High school coach for over 20 years, coached at a small private school. I'm in the Washington, D.C. area, and now have been a junior college coach for the last 5 years. Been asked to be a part of a platform called gotaroster.com, and a part of that is I'm going to do a podcast that hopefully can help you in your college recruitment plans. Summer is about started for us as college coaches. Memorial Day is a big part for us. We get out, see some state championships. I was at the MSABC Classic a couple weekends ago. It's really important that as you're getting ready for the summer and you're helping colleges come out and find who you are as a baseball player, is that they're able to find you. One of the bigger mistakes that kids make in the process is they look at it as I look at college recruitment as a job interview. And what I mean by that is if you're looking for a job at IBM, you're not going to sit at your house and wait for IBM to knock on your door. It's got to be a little bit of a two-way street. And a part of that for the college athlete is getting the information out to a college coach to be able to do that. If that's a roster that somebody puts out, if that's you attending camps, I think the easiest way is Twitter. I think Twitter's amazing for what it can do. I think it has some limitations, but through the pandemic and what we're able to do, and even in my roster, that's very diversified from a state perspective, I should say. It's important that I'm able to see kids that are not just in my local background, that I'm able to see kids and see information on that. The limitations of Twitter are quite honest. It's big, which means you can get lost in the grass. Even if I follow you on my Twitter account, if you want to follow me as coach_OC, if you follow us and you put us in the spot, doesn't mean we always see you. If I'm following 200 kids, 300 kids, the only way I see your video is I happen to be on Twitter at the right location. That's a big reason why the Got a Roster platform was kind of created. In my conversations with them and my conversations with other college coaches, there seems to be a massive need for getting the information of the kid. If I recruit you or I'm interested in you, I probably have to go to about 5 different sources to find information. I come home with about 15 to 20 pieces of paper, trying to find out what kid I liked and what kid I didn't like, and find out my scribble, what I put down, what I loved, what we talked about, and try to organize that in some type of spreadsheet. Got a Roster created the platform where the college coach doesn't have to do that. College coach just clicks a button and adds you to his recruiting profile. But more importantly, it allows you as the college coach or the college player in both capacities to centralize your information. June 3rd is a massive day for kids. You should understand that. June 3rd is the day the transfer portal truly becomes open. Any Division I kid can go in the process, and it becomes a shopping spree for college coaches. Unfortunately, there's NLI money, there's the new world of college, and nobody really knows what the new NCAA rule as far as paying college athletes is going to affect college baseball. I believe college baseball at the higher levels is going to be totally changed. I believe you're going to see 100% scholarships. You're going to see kids being paid. But just like a professional baseball, and I've been fortunate enough to coach 27 guys in my years that have been drafted. A couple guys have made it to the big leagues, Major League All-Stars. But it's a business. College baseball is going to become more of a business than it's ever become in the past. When you pay kids to perform and they don't perform, you're going to find new kids. It's as simple as that. So be very wary of what you're looking at in the process. Be very wary of where you want to go. Know what you want in this. One of the reasons the portal exists for me is kids, unfortunately, have not taken the step that college baseball is different than high school or travel baseball. When you're at Iowa, and I'm not talking about the University of Iowa, I'm talking about some school in Iowa or North Dakota or wherever, and the only reason you went to that place is because of baseball. Well, guess what? Baseball's a game where you're going to fail. You're going to have an 0-for-20 slump. You're going to have 3 or 4 bad games on the mound and not have quality starts. And if the only reason you're there is for baseball, baseball becomes unfun. When it becomes unfun, you decide this is not the place for me, And unfortunately, a lot of guys don't buckle down and work harder. They just try to find a new spot. What's going to change in that is college coaches are going to be more productive in the idea of if you're not producing or you're not moving, you're going to move on. So for the college game, that opens up what I am as a JUCO coach is really, really, really important because you have the ability now of putting stats where people can see that. All right, that's my plug about JUCO. I'm not going to go too much in depth in that, but the June 3rd date is coming up. It's super, super important. You got to make sure you're know what you're doing and where you're at, and the fact that up until now, if I'm a 24 grad, I didn't have to worry about college kids or junior college kids. I was basically being recruited against the best uncommitted kids that are around. Now I have a whole crop of kids that are in the mix of my recruiting, which makes this even harder. What's your summer plans? For us, Got a Roster, we're going to start our first event this weekend. If you haven't been to the website, gotaroster.com, we're going to be doing the Exposure All-Star Weekend. We hope to have live video. We're testing that out as a possibility. So the hope is to come back on the YouTube channel and you'll be able to see at least the skills competition or the games in the process. But more importantly, we have our rosters out there. We also have a tournament next week, the PSL tournament, that we'll be doing in Northern Virginia, where all of the rosters are on there. What does that mean? Well, that means a college coach who's a part of our system right now. We have over 20-some colleges that use our system. Have the ability of just clicking a button and adding you to their recruiting board. Any information that you put in there, video, highlights, information, automatically gets put in that college recruiting board. So he can examine you. He can look at you against other kids. He can put notes that he talked to you. He can put his notes as he evaluates you that day. It's super, super important if you want to be that college's choice that they have all the information about you. You don't want to put it in the hands that he didn't find out that you threw 85 at some perfect game event. You want to make sure that it's there, that he knows it. So the Got a Roster is to try to avoid that. So me as a college coach, I don't have to go to 75 different websites and this and that and all the different things like that. If I'm recruiting Coach O'Connor, I go to Coach O'Connor _OC at Twitter. And unfortunately, it still doesn't have all my information. I use a link tree. The link trees are great. You can put multiple things up there. But again, I'm clicking on multiple things once again. If I have a platform like this, or there's other ones out there, the difference between this one, it's free. It's always going to be free. The business of baseball is, unfortunately, keeps charging it for things. The hope that I've told these guys in creating this platform is to make it an advertisement based product. And what I mean by that is the hope is they're going to get enough players in the system that an advertiser would be interested in moving forward in promoting their brand to you and maybe giving you a discount or anything like that. So right now, Got a Roster, and for the foreseeable future, it's free for players and it's also free for college coaches. It's a free way to look at information that we have and what we can do. So if you haven't been on a Got a Roster page or you haven't looked at it, there's a chance if you're in the Northeast region or Mid-Atlantic region, I should say, the chances are you were at a showcase or you're at an event that a Got a Roster profile might have been created. The only way you can be created is if a college coach puts you in or a showcase or a tournament adds you to the roster that goes on. We do have the ability of teams to come in board, and we're trying to get actively organizations to put their roster to make it easy, to make it paperless. But remember this for guys that are out there in the process. If you're playing for a guy over the summer and he isn't actively giving rosters out with your information, not your parents' information, not your parents' cell phone, your email, because you're the one being recruited. And parents, if you're not able to give that or you don't feel comfortable, create a separate email that's just that everybody can see. If you don't want to give the cell phone number, I get that. But put a separate email that's the family email that's based for baseball recruitment, to say the least. But the idea of having the parent email or the parent cell phone number means, unfortunately, your kid's not ready to be recruited by college. And I think that's a big mistake in the process, because my job is to figure out if you're a good fit for my program, not the parent, but the player. So the more information I can have and the less steps I'm going to have, the better it's going to be. So if you're one of those teams that doesn't have rosters, or if you're one of those teams that doesn't have a link to go to put something in there, you're not a showcase team, you're a travel team. And unfortunately for you, and I know this might not be the nicest thing to say, but if I come to a tournament and I'm at it and I ask the coach for a roster and he says, I don't have any, not that he forgot it or he didn't print it, because in my years of showcase ball, there's been plenty of times that I've run out of rosters. Okay, coach, here's my email address. Send me an email and I'll send it to you. Or, coach, what's your email address? And I'll send you a roster because I'm out right now. If he doesn't have that, and that's not something you guys do as an organization, you're not a showcase organization. You're a travel team. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a great need for travel baseball. As a matter of fact, I think kids are showcasing way too early. But if you're a travel team, then you don't want to promise kids they're going to get Division I scholarships. And you don't need to play in $1,500 tournaments every weekend. You just need to play baseball. Play locally, grab some local teams, play the game, go to a team camp if that's what you want to do to get guys exposure. But it's important you understand the difference of the two, because a lot of parents don't. A lot of parents are getting sold in this idea of I'm getting showcased, and you're not. You're absolutely not. If you're interested in anything Got a Roster does, go to their website. They have information. Once again, a player can't be added by himself. It's got to be added by an organization or a coach, and they're open to bring anybody in that wants to come in the platform. But I want to wish everybody good luck. The hope is that this podcast will come out hopefully weekly, but we're going to get through the summer and the different things. Hopefully bring some guests on that we can talk about the recruiting process and what's going on. And once again, if you are in the gotaroster.com system, go update your profile. It's free. It's simple. You can upload video. You can add your stats. Make it as current as possible, because when you update it, if you're on a travel team, it updates the roster of the travel team automatically. If you're on somebody's recruiting board, it updates that information perfectly. It's not there. It's not the sole purpose. Use Twitter. Use every field level. Do everything you can to get yourself out there, where colleges are going to search. But once a college finds you, once I'm looking for John Smith or Mike Trout, when I type in Mike Trout, I don't want to have to go to 17 sites. If I can just go to one platform that has all his information, and even if it just has his information and it's current, and that's great for me. I want to be able to find the best players that I can play at Essex, and I want to make sure that they can play. And the way I do that is to look at video or look at observations or reach out to the people. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy. It's for us. It's the last weekend was the first weekend of summer. This is the second. Wish you all the best in this summer. If there's anything we can do, please reach out to me on Twitter at Coach_Oski. Thanks for listening to the podcast, and have a great day.